Why is fMRI so important when it comes to diagnosing certain brain injuries? Let me explain. So, first of all, let's use an example of a country that doesn't have an fMRI, and then we can come to the conclusion why it's so important. Let's use the UK as a prime example. The UK has access to CT and MRI scans when it comes to looking at the brain. However, whilst this is good diagnostic protocol for the likes of tumours, fractures, brain bleeds, stuff like that, it's not good at looking at functional issues. So, for instance, neuron communication deficits or blood flow deficits within the brain. fMRI configured into an FNCI, which stands for functional neurocognitive imaging, looks at how the neurons are communicating with each other and also how the blood flow, what the levels of the blood flow is like within particular brain regions and if it is within the normal range. If it isn't, you're able to detect whether it meets a mild impairment or whether it meets a severe impairment. And if it meets a severe impairment, that would indicate injury has occurred. And what they're able to do with fMRI is they're able to look at which particular brain regions aren't operating optimally and are able to give targeted treatments to those to the particular brain regions that aren't working the way they should. Without the fMRI, you're not able to see this. And to specialists that don't have this diagnostic, they then come to conclusions that aren't true. For instance, you're mentally unwell, there's nothing going on, you're fine. When the truth is that isn't the case, it's just that the right diagnostics haven't been used and you haven't seen the right specialist who understands conditions like PCS, which is post-concussion syndrome, that can go undetected without the right knowledge and diagnostic protocols. That's why it's so important that fMRI becomes more widely available to the UK and European countries, because at the moment these scanners only operate within the USA and there is only 7 of them altogether in the entire world. USA promote innovation. Whilst their healthcare models are of expense, they are able to innovate. Currently the UK is falling behind when it comes to innovation, so they stick to what they know. And that is letting down patients far too often. And that's why what we're doing at Unite when it comes to unifying the response is so important. We need to make sure that fMRI does become more widely available over the coming years. And we at Unite are doing everything we can to make that happen.